His Excellencies Mr. Khondokar M. Talha, Acting High Commissioner of Bangladesh, the Right Honorable Stephen Timms, MP, Mr. Wes Stating, Member of Parliament from Ilford North, and I'm lucky that I'm in his constituency. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, good evening, Shubho Shanda. On behalf of Friends of Bangladesh, I would like to welcome you all in our Charity Dinner 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, your presence here tonight can save the life of a breast cancer victim in Bangladesh. Your presence can help to take a child from street to the school and from school to the university. Your presence here can make a change to the life of a poor person. Our charity acts as a bridge, connecting the thoughtful people like you and the thousands of underprivileged who deserve your help and support. Friends of Bangladesh is a small but a smart organization in its approach. Our trustees are British Bangladeshi professionals. Our aim is to serve the humanity. Our charity works for the prevention and relief of poverty, advancements of education, breast cancer awareness, and primary health care. We render all possible help to relieve the people are suffering. Friends of Bangladesh has been delivering humanitarian projects since 1982. For the last 34 years, with the help and support of wonderful and generous people like you, our charity has reached thousands of people who would have otherwise suffered in silence. Our project like breast cancer awareness, medical advice and free medicine distribution, student scholarship, street children, and self-reliance help hundreds to relieve their stress. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our duty and conviction to uplift the hope and aspiration of the people who are suffering. You will agree with the recommendation made by the International Breast Cancer Foundation, USA, that early detection and raising awareness is the only solution to reduce the number of deaths of breast cancer victims. Unfortunately, the current survival rate is only 10% in Bangladesh. That means 9 out of 10 women diagnosed with this breast cancer die with this fatal disease every year. Because in a lower earning country like Bangladesh, people cannot afford cancer treatment. We are at Friends of Bangladesh continuously trying to raise the awareness amongst the Bangladeshi women about this deadly disease. Our volunteers deliver outreach campaign in the place like the Girls' College and garments industry. They show the awareness video and documentary to the workers and students to raise awareness. We work with Cancer Society Hospital in Mirpur, Dhaka, where we help the poor patient with the initial diagnosis. Our project in Hatia distribute free medicine and provide free medical advice. Every year, more than 3,000 men, women, and children receive this service. Last year, 4 of our sponsor students has already completed the graduation. This year, we have extended our help to another 4 students and will continue to support them for next 3 years. Nasima Rahman Tanjin, studying medicine in Dhaka Medical College. With our help, Muhammad Maruf Hussain, studying applied chemistry in Rajshahi University. Sultana Mahmood, currently studying computer science in Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology. and Bipasha Khatun studying human resource in University of Dhaka. This year, we are also planning to work with a street children project called Khata Kalam in Uttara Dhaka. I'll shortly hand over to our president, Mr. Mahbub Yazdani Khan, who will speak more about our work we do in Bangladesh. Before doing so, I would like to thank all our guests for taking time to attend our dinner tonight. Remember, whatever we do here tonight is for the good cause. It will make a difference to a poor person's life. So feel good, be happy, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Long live Friends of Bangladesh.
Thank you to you all for attending our annual charity dinner. We are pleased to say this is our 4th time annual dinner in the borough of Newham. We fall in love with the Newham. That's why you are the 4th time in here. The last year we had a charity dinner in this venue, which was very successful. We are a very small organization, and our trustee are British Bangladeshi professionals. Our aim is to raise the funds and support the project and the people who need most. We work with the Bangladeshi government and British DFID, and I'm arranging a meeting with the DFID Minister, Rory Stewart, middle of the next month, to discuss further how the DFID can help us for our organization. Now I need to talk about some few words about our project in Bangladesh. Perhaps you know the breast cancer awareness project we started 4 or 5 years back. You already know the project was opened by His Excellency Robert Gibson, the British High Commissioner at that time in Dhaka, and most women in Bangladesh who suffer from the cancer have it on their breast, while most of the men in a similar suffer lung cancer. A National Institute of Cancer Research, NICRH, and the hospital registry analysis showed that 28% of their patients between 2012 to 2014 suffered from the breast cancer, followed by 22% affected by the cervical cancer. The National Institute is the only hospital in Bangladesh that has a cancer charity register system. Our project is running with the professionals who are working with our Reach Up campaign, and we have a promise to buy a mammography machine, which you have helped us to buy. But we need a little bit of short of money, but we hope we will raise some money today, and we will buy by this time to run this mammography machine in our project in Dhaka. Recently, we are working with the Street Children project in Dhaka. We work to promote the right of the children to ensure that they have access to the health of the care service, educated nutrition, quality education, prevent early marriage, and the child protection. The Friends of Bangladesh acknowledge the pioneer of the implementing program for the street children in Bangladesh. We are jointly working with one of the street children project in Dhaka. We need your support this evening. I believe that by working together, we can help millions of poor people out of the poverty in Bangladesh once and for all. On the behalf of Friends of Bangladesh, we thank you again and hope you will enjoy tonight's proceeding. Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to all of you. I stand here today very proud, not only as the chief patron, or rather the acting chief patron of the Friends of Bangladesh, but also as a Bangladeshi, that in organization like Friends of Bangladesh, how they are contributing to the development of Bangladesh. You have heard about the activities they run, which are highly praiseworthy, no doubt. But it is perhaps more the spirit which I appreciate, because it's not everywhere you see that people come together to do something for their country of origin. And the Friends of Bangladesh has been doing that since 1982, and they have come a long way, and they have increasingly expanded their engagement with Bangladesh, which is a rare thing that we have seen. Now, what is important about such organizations is that you all know about the social sector successes of Bangladesh. I mean, Bangladesh is considered as a role model of social development in the world now. And Bangladesh has won, and the Honorable Prime Minister herself has won several awards now for the social sector, the spectacular development that has taken place in Bangladesh. And that has been possible not only by the government's efforts. The government, of course, has got a huge safety net for the vulnerable people of the country. But it's also, the organizations like Friends of Bangladesh who have contributed to that. It's also the other social actors, the NGOs in Bangladesh, who have played a critical role in bringing Bangladesh where it stands today. Bangladesh has got the best, perhaps the best social indicators in the whole of South Asia, which is, again, home of more than 1/5 of the humanity. And that was a really challenging task. But it was through the prudent policies of the government that that has been achieved. But it's not only that we have done well in the social sector, it's also the economic indicators which are going up. And I don't know how many of you here are aware that Bangladesh is the 36th largest economy in the world. The UK is the 5th largest economy in the world, and we are 36th largest economy. And that we are progressing at a rate which is 7% plus this year. Next year, we are projected to grow more than China. And this is, again, one area where the British Bangladeshis, I would invite you that as you contribute for the charity work in Bangladesh, you must also think about the business prospects between Bangladesh and UK. You must think about how, through your commercial activities, you can also benefit the people of Bangladesh, you can benefit yourselves here in UK, and you can contribute to the excellent relationship that we have with the United Kingdom. Lastly, I would once again like to thank Friends of Bangladesh for the excellent work they have been doing, and I would encourage them to carry on in the same vein and find out new areas where the Friends of Bangladesh can contribute. Thank you all.
Good evening, salam alaikum, and thank you for inviting me along for this second year to the Friends of Bangladesh dinner. I really enjoyed being here last year for a number of reasons, partly because so many of my constituents are involved in the charity. I noticed the old General Secretary is one of my constituents. I also used to represent your president as a councillor in Chadwell Heath. So there are lots of political ties. But those of you who were here last year will also recall that, it makes me feel, I'm not sure whether it makes me feel younger or older, that Friends of Bangladesh was founded in 1982. I was actually born in 1983. And I was born in Stepney and Tower Hamlets, and I grew up in Tower Hamlets. And so in so many ways, I grew up with the Bangladeshi community. And just as I have walked that path between Tower Hamlets to the London Borough of Redbridge, so many Bangladeshis have walked too. And so now I have the privilege in Parliament of representing so many people from the Bangladeshi community, the diaspora, first, second, third, fourth generation Bangladeshis, and that's a great privilege to me. And I think there is something about the story of the relationship between Britain and Bangladesh today that's very important for the future of our country. My friend and colleague Stephen Timms and His Excellency the High Commissioner talked about the social progress in Bangladesh and, in fact, the rate of economic growth that we would really envy in Britain, given the current state of our economy. So I won't talk too much about the progress in Bangladesh, but I do really want to dwell for a moment on the ongoing relationship between our two countries, because I know that there are many people who voted Leave in the referendum earlier this year who did so for all sorts of reasons that were not ones I agree with, but ones that I thought were legitimate, and we could have a genuine disagreement. But I have to say, what I saw during that campaign and since is the opening of a bottle and the escape of the genie that I think we will find it very hard to replace, because I am proud to live in a country and to have grown up in a country that is open, outward-looking, that looks to the world with optimism and confidence and leadership, to grow up in a city that celebrates diversity and appreciates the fact that immigration has enriched this country over decades and generations and, in fact, centuries, that it enriches our economy, it enriches our culture, our society. It gives us a view that's far bigger and far more wide-reaching in the world than a small island mentality. And I'm disturbed by the extent to which the debate about Britain's future in the world and the debate about immigration in this country has taken a very ugly turn. I see in my casework as an MP people who are applying for visit visas for their family and seeing those visit visas turned down, legitimate reasons to want to visit, to see their friends, their family, to attend weddings and funerals, turned down. I see people who have given to this country by working in this country and generating the economy, setting up their own businesses, finding it harder to recruit people from abroad or being made to feel like they're no longer welcome. And I think we have to guard against that mentality in our country and make sure that it doesn't take hold. Because I think when you look at the Bangladeshi community, there are few, if any, better examples of a community that has come to this country and given so much and is now part and parcel of British culture and British society. And so I think we should hold up the Bangladeshi community in this country as an example of the type of open country and the open economy that we want to be, and continue to fight for that country and fight for that future so that this country doesn't become an inward-looking, mean-spirited country. A country that we've all been proud to be part of and grow up in is one that we must continue to fight for. So I hope in the coming weeks, months and years that we will also be able to stand proudly and talk about the strength and the diversity of our city and our country. A city, by the way, that elected its first Muslim mayor, first Muslim mayor of any Western city, and against a campaign that was ugly, divisive and racist. I think that London electing Sadiq Khan showed the kind of city that we want to be, and now it's important that we now fight for the kind of open country we want to be. Thank you very much.
Welcome and support for the work of Friends of Bangladesh UK, and congratulate everybody involved in the work over the past year and indeed over the past 34 years since 1982. I was very pleased to hear from the President that you've fallen in love with the borough of Newham. That's excellent news. Very pleased to see you all here in Newham this evening. Delighted my friend and colleague Wes Streeting has been persuaded to come from Redbridge to come and join us in this celebration tonight, and I wish everybody a very, very good evening. I had the opportunity of visiting Bangladesh earlier this year, and I met with the High Commissioner in Dhaka at the time. I was with the group organised by Labour Friends of Bangladesh. We had a fantastic visit, and the thing which impressed me most was to realise just how much progress Bangladesh has made in the 20 years since I first visited as a Member of Parliament in 1996, 20 years ago. And I remember on that first visit meeting a young lad who was probably only 8 or 9, and he'd called in at a voluntary medical centre that I was visiting, And somebody said to me that, of course, he works in the local hotel, he can't go to school. He has to support his family. And I know that at that time, 20 years ago, fewer than half of primary school-age children were able to attend school. Today, that proportion, I know, is well over 90%. That is a remarkable progress, absolutely remarkable progress that Bangladesh has made over the last 20 years. Exactly as the High Commissioner has been pointing out, Bangladesh really social indicators setting the pace around the world, and without a doubt, Bangladesh is, I think, the best example of successful implementation of the Millennium Development Goals that the whole world signed up to in 2000, with a priority on getting primary age children into school. Bangladesh has done that with great success. That's a huge credit to the government of Bangladesh, the people of Bangladesh, that such a lot of progress has been made. It also reflects very well on organisations like this one that have done so much to support development in Bangladesh. But let's also make this point, that British support through DFID has helped as well. It was Gordon Brown, who was Chancellor of the Exchequer, earmarked a big chunk of our international development funding for progress in education. And I'm delighted that Bangladesh has been one of the beneficiaries. In fact, when I was working for Gordon Brown as Chief Secretary to the Treasury, I was able to visit Bangladesh and announce an additional commitment at that time to supporting the development of primary education in Bangladesh. So Britain has been able to help and provide support, but above all, it's a massive achievement for the people of Bangladesh, and one that augurs extremely well for the future. So I think the friendship of Britain for Bangladesh has been important in the progress over the last few years, but let's be absolutely clear, particularly as we look to the future, the friendship of Bangladesh for Britain is going to be extremely important. We're about to embark on a journey. Nobody knows what this journey is going to look like. We're going to have a different relationship with the other countries of the European Union. Nobody yet knows what that relationship is going to be like. We are undoubtedly going to need more than ever in Britain our friendships with countries like Bangladesh, the 36th largest economy, was it, that you said, in the world, and growing very rapidly, very rapid growth over the last few years, certainly much more rapid growth than we've seen in the British economy. I think our friendship in Britain with Bangladesh and the people of Bangladesh is going to be even more important in the future economically than it has been in the past. So I hope this really close friendship that this dinner and this organisation reflects and is celebrating tonight will go from strength to strength. That'll be undoubtedly in the interests of Bangladesh. It's equally certainly going to be in the interests of Britain. Let's all work together to make the most of that friendship in the period ahead, and have a wonderful dinner here at the Impression Centre tonight. Thank you very much indeed.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Abdul Awal, and the Chief Coordinator of all the projects in Bangladesh. I've got an obligation to show you what we have been saying for last 1 hour. We said we do a lot of things, and I'm going to show you what are those things we do. I think we always believe seeing is believing. Unless you see what we do, you may have little doubt in your mind that whether they do or they don't. So I'm going to show the activities what Friends of Bangladesh is doing, I have been doing for last 35 years. As everybody said here, we started this job helping people, poor people, destitute, for last 35 years since 1982. And I'm going to show you the documentary. Especially I want to mention one word. You could say, why again and again we say breast cancer awareness in Bangladesh? Maybe you don't know or keep up with the statistics. I'll give you just few statistics. In America, every 2 minutes, one breast cancer diagnosed in America. That makes almost 700 every month, and that makes about 700 every day, and that makes 1 year about 300,000 breast cancer diagnosed in America. In Bangladesh, incidence even higher. But the difference is, in America, the mortality rate about 13 to 15%. In Bangladesh, that's the catching point. Our General Secretary already mentioned to you very cleverly the mortality, he didn't say, but survival rate is only 10%. What does it say? 90% breast cancer sufferer in Bangladesh dies, unfortunately so. Reason is they are not aware of the diseases. It's a silent killer because there is not enough doctors to attend to those breast cancer sufferers or who could suffer from breast cancer. There is not enough awareness. There is not enough diagnosis. That is why Friends of Bangladesh UK thought this is the best approach, that we go to Bangladesh and do breast cancer awareness in Bangladesh. So you'll see we established a big clinic with British High Commissioner in Bangladesh that time in 2012. And since then, we're doing different campaigns. As you have already heard, we do campaign, seminar, all of those things. We're doing a big campaign 10th of October in Bangladesh, all over Bangladesh. We're doing a lot of work. So ladies and gentlemen, please be with us. Help Friends of Bangladesh to help sufferers in Bangladesh. Thank you.
আমি বাংলাদেশে কয়েকবার গিয়েছি, গিয়ে ওখানে কাজ করেছি সেই গরিবদের জন্য, ব্রেস্ট ক্যান্সার অ্যাওয়ারনেস প্রজেক্টের জন্য এবং কি স্ট্রিট চিলড্রেনের জন্য। আমি আশা করি আপনারা সবাই এই ব্যাপারে হেল্প করবেন এবং আমার নিজের আত্মীয় স্বজন তো আছেই, আমার আশপাশে অনেক গরিব লোকজনকে দেখেছি তারা ব্রেস্ট ক্যান্সারে ভুগতেছে। আজ নিজে এখানে ডাক্তার হয়ে এখানে আমি ভালো চিকিৎসা দিচ্ছি এদেশে, হোয়াইরাস আমার বাংলাদেশে আমার গরিব ভাই বোনরা কোনো চিকিৎসাই পাচ্ছে না এবং তারা জানতে পারছে না যে এই ব্রেস্ট ক্যান্সারটা কতটুকু মারাত্মক এবং তারা না চিকিৎসা পেয়ে মারা যাচ্ছে। আশা করি আপনারা এগিয়ে আসবেন, আমাদেরকে হেল্প করবেন। অশেষ ধন্যবাদ।
They are doing at the moment breast cancer project, which is really Bangladesh needs it because their income is very low. They cannot afford the treatment. So we are, from this organization, we are trying to help them initially. This way we are helping some small project for street children and stipend, some scholarships and some educational project we are holding at the moment. And আমরা চাই যে সকলে আপনারা সাহায্য করেন এই ব্যাপারে, দুস্থ লোকের পাশে আপনারা দাঁড়ান, বাংলাদেশে গরিব লোকদের আপনারা সাহায্য করেন।
আমি আশা করি যারা এখনও আমাদের সাথে আসেননি আমাদের সাথে জয়েন করেন, বি এ মেম্বার অফ দিস অর্গানাইজেশন এবং কন্ট্রিবিউট আস অ্যাজ মাচ অ্যাজ ইউ ক্যান ইন এনি ওয়ে ইউ ক্যান, especially financially, because we need your support to help our poor people in our own country, and without your support we cannot do that.